never change, this is Jay every day. I never change, this is Jay every day. Never change, this is Jay. I am a rock representer. Oh.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the ZayMoolaSportsPodcast. I'm your all-star Zay, and Ohio State 5-star freshman wide receiver Chris Henry Jr. is about to take over college football and become a superstar. And I know that might sound like an outrageous statement to make, considering that he's a freshman and Ohio State has a very difficult schedule, but there are a couple of reasons why I believe he's ready for the moment. And the first reason is his pedigree. His father, the late great Chris Henry Sr., was a star receiver at West Virginia and had a promising NFL career until his untimely death in 2009. And after he passed away, his great friend Adam Pacman Jones adopted Chris and his siblings and raised them. So Chris has always been around the game of football, but he has a different perspective than most people, because most people cannot say that they had a parent that played in the NFL. So Chris already knows what it takes to reach the professional level and perform at a high level, because that's what his father did. And then after his father unfortunately passed away, his father's friend, who is Adam Pacman Jones, who also played in the NFL, adopted him and raised him. So he has truly been around the game of football his entire life. You know, he's been up close and personal to NFL players. He's been in NFL locker rooms. I'm sure that when his father was still living, that he was around Chad Johnson and TJ, who was either two Pro Bowl wide receivers that his father played with. So not only, y'all, has he been around the game of football his entire life, but he's been around professionals that played at a high level, receivers, you know, that performed at a high level, which is great for him, because obviously he wants to be those guys one day. He wants to go to the NFL and have success. And considering that his father had a very solid career in the NFL, and then his father played with a couple of other receivers, and TJ Houshmandzadeh and Chad Johnson, that were Pro Bowl receivers, Chris knows what it takes to be a great receiver in the NFL. And I really just love, y'all, having that pedigree. That just, I think, is going to bode really well for me. That's why I don't think the moment is going to be too big for me. Even though Ohio State has a very difficult schedule, you know, having to play against USC and Oregon and Indiana and Michigan, I just don't think that the lights are going to be too bright for Chris, because, again, he has been around the game of football his entire life. He's been around professionals, so he knows what it takes to perform well and to play your best when your team needs you the most. So I absolutely love the pedigree, y'all, and the lineage that he has. But then not only does he have the pedigree, but Chris is extremely talented, as he is one of the most physically imposing receivers I've ever seen. I mean, y'all, he is 6'5", 205 pounds. He's built like a running back, honestly. I mean, he kind of reminds you of Derrick Henry, just at the wide receiver position. I mean, that's just how physically imposing he is. And he has great speed and athleticism. He's a vertical threat. He has really great hands. He has a huge catch radius. He's a contested catch demon. He's a very polished route runner. And he is just an absolute dog on the field. I mean, you just saw time after time when he was at Mater Dei High School, where he would just leap up in the air and just snatch the ball away from the defensive backs. I mean, he just has that mindset where I'm going to get this football over you every single time, and there's absolutely nothing you can do to stop me, y'all. And you love receivers, especially when a receiver has this type of size. I love, y'all, when receivers are taller like this, have great length to them when they play like it, because sometimes when receivers are really tall, they play like they're shorter, you know. But Chris Henry Jr., again, he's 6'5", 205 pounds, and he definitely plays like it because he is just so physically imposing on the football field. He always takes the fight to the defensive backs, y'all, and playing in this offense alongside Jeremiah Smith, who's the best receiver in college football, arguably the best player in college football, is just going to be amazing for him, y'all, because we know that obviously Jeremiah Smith is going to command a lot of attention. So a lot of teams are going to double team him, which means that Chris Henry Jr., y'all, is going to be one-on-one. There's not too many defensive backs that are going to have to deal with him one-on-one, because a lot of them, y'all, just don't have the size, they don't have the speed, and they don't have the athleticism to be able to contain him. And then you have a great quarterback in Julian Sayin as well, who is arguably the most accurate quarterback in college football. I mean, I just love this for him, y'all, because we know that Ohio State has produced so many legendary receivers, you know, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson, Chris Carter, Joey Galloway, Marvin Harrison Jr. I mean, they have produced so many great receivers, and Chris already has a great skill set, but now that he's going at and he already has a well-rounded skill set. He really doesn't have any weaknesses in his game, but he's going to continue to get better because Ohio State does an amazing job of developing wide receivers. And I think that's the scary part, y'all, that Chris Henry Jr. is already a great player, but he really can become a superstar player because he already has an elite skill set. And then playing alongside Jeremiah Smith, the best receiver in college football, and going to Ohio State University, aka wide receiver U, is just going to do wonders for his development and for his career, y'all. And I think he is going to establish himself as one of the best receivers in college football as a freshman. Okay, don't be surprised if he has 1,100 yards and like 12 to 14 touchdowns. I expect him to put up big numbers in this offense because, again, Jeremiah Smith is going to command a lot of attention. And then, y'all, don't forget at running back, you got Bo Jackson, who's one of the best running backs in college football. So I don't think a lot of teams are really going to be that focused on Chris Henry Jr., which is really going to allow him an opportunity to show off his skill set and show why he is an elite player, y'all. And I would not be surprised if Ohio State's offense is actually more efficient this year than they were last year. Obviously, they had a prolific offense last year, but I think this year, with the presence of Chris Henry Jr., they're going to be able to score some more points in the red zone. I feel like that's where they really struggled last year, was in the red zone, but now you have a big physical freak of wide receiver in Chris Henry Jr., who's 6'5", 205 pounds, so they're going to be able to throw him a lot of goal line fades. He's going to have to give them so many easy touchdowns, y'all. And Ohio State is going to be a juggernaut once again this season. And I think Chris Henry Jr. is going to play a big part in their success. And I cannot wait to see what he does this season because I'm expecting big things from this 5-star freshman. So there we have it, man. This was me discussing Ohio State's 5-star freshman receiver, Chris Henry Jr., and why I think he's going to have a tremendous year this upcoming season. Remember, y'all, labs good medicine. So what? Make sure you get your daily dose. Y'all know I'm in it, man. I love y'all. God bless. Peace.